Hi everyone, and welcome to Brunch Business. It's good to have you with us today, and today I think we're going to talk about attitudes and standards in the business.
Yes.
We've talked about values and beliefs, and we've set the foundation for that. So now it's time in your business to consider what your attitudes and your standards are. And I've written down a few notes here so that I don't get lost, because I have a habit of doing that. But Gary, can you explain what is an attitude and standards?
Well, standards are the guidelines, aren't they, Yoli?
Yeah.
That you use in a business to measure where you want to be, the boundaries in which you want to stay, and how that you want to control the situations within those boundaries.
Exactly, and it's the approach in planning, isn't it? And the benchmarks for how you operate things. And I think too, sometimes it's about having the right people in the right roles, isn't it?
Oh, that's most definitely a thing. We discuss that quite often,
Yeah.
and it is something that's necessary to be looked at. But you've got to realise that your standards are your standards, and you don't start trying to use other people's and trying to get out of your paddock, outside of your fencing.
Exactly, it's kind of like how you measure yourselves in your business. And like I said, I've got some notes here, and like you said, it's your boundaries that keeps you within your fences, if you want to call it that. And it's the agreed way of doing something, isn't it? It's not somebody else's agreed way of doing it. It's your agreed way of doing it that you've worked out with your team, I think.
So there you get to a very important part of what we're talking about, that the standards must be understood by everybody.
And be consistent.
Consistency is the thing that comes from the standards, isn't it? The standards drive them, but yes, it takes an attitude of consistency to actually maintain those standards and where you're going.
Yes, so some of the notes I've got here, it's for instance, it could be whether it be making how you make a product, managing the actual process of making that product, delivering a service even. And what else have I got here? Supplying materials. Anything like that, you can have your standards and your attitudes applied to.
And another more important area too, Yoli, is which we cover all the time, is the way in which you communicate and treat people that are dealing with your business.
Exactly.
Whether it's a supplier or a customer.
Exactly. And look, like we said, consistency is important. If you're going to set some standards, you need to have consistency. And the attitude is how you go about delivering those standards, how you go about doing it. Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it going to be done cheaply? Is that your attitude? Oh, that'll do job. So you've got to make sure that your attitude reflects your standards. Otherwise, it's going to show, and people are going to notice it.
Most definitely.
And I've written down a couple of our attitudes. I hope you don't mind, but I wanted to share some of our attitudes for an example for you. And one of them is those we work with to be motivated, positive and acceptable of change. In other words, the people that work with us, whether it's contractors that we hire or our staff, have that same kind of value as what we do, and they're acceptable of how we are. And another one is our commitment and work ethics to reflect in others. In other words, if we're going to deliver a training program, we want that reflected in the people that we're delivering it to. So we want to make sure our product is good. Do you want to go over some of them?
Oh, well, yeah, what you've written here, the fun and openness and honesty.
Yep.
Now, that's an important thing. Inclusiveness, that's
all inclusive, isn't it?
That's the big word of the moment, of course, but it is the word that says it all, and it's having all of that in place.
Yeah, and it's not just inclusive just of us two, it's inclusive of the people that we work with or work for, and the people that work for us or help us.
Yep.
In all of that. So there's a couple there at least.
And let's not go outside of those circles or we'll get into branding. And to be vigilant and be truthful and have the integrity to follow through on whatever it is that you're actually performing, doing, or carrying out.
Yeah, and
very important things.
I think we both think it's important to revisit those attitudes and standards with your people. Every couple of months when you're having a meeting, talk about your standards, talk about your attitudes, and also reward the people that have the strengths in that area that deliver those standards and attitudes, because they will be the people that the others will look upon to be the example.
And you need to have those standards and attitudes. We come back to that one word again, that consistency factor.
Absolutely.
Across the whole boundary.
It creates a great culture, actually, don't you think?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
And I think that's what it's about. Delivering the right culture is about all of those, your values, beliefs, and all those sorts of vision, mission, and, of course, your attitudes and your standards.
Yep.
So that's Brunch Business today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got something out of it. Have a great day, guys.
Thanks, guys. All the best.
See you soon.